Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to section 4 in our study of reading comprehension for the SAT exam. I am Mr. Murphy, and we'll be talking about nonfiction. Now, we have no graphic in this. Sometimes the nonfiction sections will have a graphic to which we should refer. And in this one, we do not. So it is an essay by Virginia Woolf. Now, one of the tips I would like to give you in nonfiction is, I guess, rooted in what Mrs. Vaughn said about being a reader at the very beginning when she did the overview. And in order to be a reader, you may have to know a little something about Virginia Woolf, the writer. Okay. She was British, Miss Woolf. She wrote To the Lighthouse, Mrs. Dalloway, very famous novelist. She was a modernist, and the modernist part of the modernist movement was doing everything new, making a change of pace. So that kind of tips us off because essentially what she's talking about is women's rights. And when is she talking about it? In this book that is basically a book that is an essay, 1938. We're on the cusp of World War II, right? So it kind of helps to know something like that when we begin our nonfiction exploration, right? To know a little bit about the history. So we're in England, it's 1938, and women are taking a look to see if they can join the workplace of educated men, sons of educated men, that is. All right. Now, you look at this, this is sort of a metaphor, but it's also real, which says, close at hand is a bridge over the River Thames, an admirable vantage ground for us to make a survey. Now, if you guys know what a survey is, a survey is an examination, right? So that would be something that you would know. And, whenever we talk about anybody maybe advancing about them crossing the bridge, well, she sees women as being on the bridge and in hopes of being established and joining the workforce, playing a more active role and having perhaps a more powerful role in the workforce. All right, so a few things that you want to know be helpful, even though you don't need to have any outside knowledge, but doesn't hurt if you know about Virginia Woolf, if you know have a rudimentary knowledge of feminism, and you know what was going on in Europe in 1938 when you approach this passage. All right. Now, we're going to take a look at it in the next class, right? So, what you should do is read the passage and answer the questions. Okay. It's 32 to 41. Have a great day. Good luck. And I will talk to you in the next class. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we are looking at question number 32, which states the main purpose of the passage is to, very common question, right, for nonfiction, but the main purpose in writing in general. All right. So you have emphasized the value of a tradition. Well, we talked about tradition of what? Tradition of sons of educated men, right? And men basically progressing as they go. So she doesn't see the value of that tradition. She wants to change it. Choice C says highlight the severity of social divisions. Now, she wants to mitigate the severity of social divisions by having women join the workforce. And it says question the feasibility of an undertaking. Now, she is creating the undertaking, as you will. So, choice B is the answer, right? And choice B says stress the urgency of an issue. And she says it time and again. Now we are here to consider facts. Now we must fix our eyes upon the procession of the sons of educated men. All right. Time and time again throughout the essay, we feel an urgency, right? The procession during this moment of transitions are so important that they may well change the lives of all men and women forever. That's lines 50 through 52. Um, are we going to join the procession or aren't we? On what terms shall we join that procession? Right? So she's talking about the urgency of the issue and that there is not much time. You tell somebody there's not much time, you're talking about urgency. You're trying to get them to do something. All right. So, guys, let's take a look at number 33. It says the central claim of the passage is what? Well, choice A is the best answer. And that's why I gave it such a big circle, because it is the best answer. And it says throughout the passage, Woolf advocates for more women to engage with existing institutions by joining the workforce. We too can leave the house, can mount those steps, pass in and out of those doors, make money, administer justice. Woolf tells educated women that they are at a moment of transition, says that in line 51, where they must consider their future roles in the workforce. Now, B is incorrect because even though Woolf mentions women's traditional roles, she does not suggest that women will have to give up these traditional roles. Okay, so she's not suggesting that they give up the roles, right? I give up roles for Lent, but that's another story. Choice C is incorrect because though Woolf wonders how the procession of the sons of educated men impacts women's roles, she does not argue that this male dominated society has had grave and continuing effects. Choice D is incorrect because while Woolf suggests educated women can hold positions currently held by men, she does not suggest that women's entry into positions of power will change those positions. All right. So she just wants a place at the table. So let's move on to question number 34, shall we? And it says Woolf uses the word we throughout the passage, mainly to reflect the growing friendliness among a group of people, advance the need for candor, establish a sense of solidarity among a group of people, reinforce the need for respect among a group of people. Um, Friendliness has nothing to do with it. Candor, okay, advance the need for candor among a group of people. Well, not really frankness being direct. No. And choice D is incorrect. Reinforce the need for respect. Now, respect doesn't really come into it. The key word, ladies and gentlemen, is solidarity, which is union. And that would be choice C. All right. Number 34 is choice C. Woolf wants these women to consider participating in a changing workforce where they are traipsing along at the tail of the procession. We go ourselves. All right. Now, if we look at number 35, according to the passage, Woolf chooses the setting of the bridge. Um, is conducive to a mood of fanciful reflection. Well, she wants the women to dream, but that's not the main idea. Is within sight of historic episodes to which she alludes. Not necessarily. She's talking about being in the present more so than any kind of historic episode, and is symbolic of the legacy of past and present sons of educated men. Now, the bridge has nothing to do with that. It is a perch, if you will, to survey, examine. So choice B is the correct answer in 35. It is literally the best answer, right? Where it says provides a good view of the procession of the sons of educated men. So we can see from the bridge. All right. Wolf indicates that the procession she describes in the passage um, has come to have more practical influence in recent years. No, she's not really going to say anything about the practicality of the sons of educated men. So eliminate that right away. Has become a celebrated feature of English public life. No, those two are way off. Includes all of the richest and most powerful men in England. Well, she doesn't talk about wealth or affluence. She talks about education. So the answer is choice D, has become less exclusionary in its membership in recent years. So exclusionary, ladies and gentlemen, would imply only educated men. All right, but the answer is choice D. Now, look at number 37. It says, which choice provides the best evidence for the answer to the previous question? If you recall, Mrs. Vaughn talked about a double header, as Mr. Beiruti did as well, right? And best evidence for the answer to the previous question is choice C. Now, I'll just read the lines. I'm not going to go through these other three choices on this one. Um, lines 23 through 24 say, for there, traipsing along at the tail end of the procession, we go ourselves. So we become part of the procession, but we're at the tail end, right? So that gives the best evidence for it's become less exclusionary because women have actually joined it. All right. Now, let's take a look at number 38. All right. And it says Wolf characterizes the questions in line 53 through 57. All right. How does she characterize them? Well, she talks about them being important, right? And we have very little time in which to answer them, right? So that would be choice C, momentous. And everyone, that's typical SAT, right? What did I say? She says important. You have to realize that momentous means important, right? Now, weighty and unanswerable, well, weighty can mean difficult or cumbersome, right? Not necessarily, could it be important? Yes, but momentous is a better choice on there. It says controversial and threatening. No, I don't see that. And provocative and mysterious. No, it's a non-fictional essay where her agenda is very straightforward, right? So let's take a look at number 39. It says, which choice provides the best evidence for the answer to the previous question? Since I already kind of gave you this, right? Because how do I know? Well, this is another double header, right? So the answer is choice B. These issues are important and we have very little time in which to answer them. So then momentous, important, momentous, and pressing, very little time. All right, number 40. Which choice most closely captures the meaning of the figurative sixpence referred to in line 70 and 71? We always talk about being literal or figurative. Now, literal sixpence would be a monetary amount. Figurative sixpence is, okay, I have a commodity now, and how should I spend it? But that is a figurative expression. So their sixpence is opportunity. Choice C, it's the best answer. Not perspective, tolerance, or knowledge. The essay is not advocating tolerance, all right? Knowledge. You could make a place, I guess, for perspective, but this is all about action. When you read the essay in its entirety, it's about action, it's about joining. So opportunity is the best choice, which is choice C. And number 41 finally says the range of places and occasions listed in lines 72 through 76, where she goes on, she uses parallelism, parallel structure. Let us do this, let us think. It's almost a precursor to Churchill. Let us fight on the beaches, let us fight on the sea, right? He did that whole thing, right? Mainly serves to emphasize how pervasive the need for critical reflection is. Choice B, critical reflection. We need to think. We need to think about these things. And in other words, we need to get out of our roles. Now, we've thought about these things, you know, when we were raising our children, but we need to take it from a different vantage point. And I hope you enjoyed this vantage point. I hope you did well and were able to answer these questions sufficiently. I'm even getting choked up, as you could tell from my voice. That's just a little standardized test humor there. I'm getting late in the evening. So I hope you guys, wish you nothing but success and luck. And I hope you do well. And I hope you picked up a few things along the way. So you guys have a great day and take care.